Who's actually going to get the most out of a pair of Polk Audio's Reserve R350 center channel and R100 bookshelf speakers? Who should walk away before they click add to cart? And does the price make sense for someone setting up a regular weekend movie night versus a serious home theater enthusiast? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. I hear this question a lot when people are standing in the middle of their living room, headphones already on, trying to decide whether a set of new speakers will finally give them that theater-like sound without turning the whole place into a soundproof studio. The hesitation usually comes from three places. First, the fear of buying a speaker that sounds great on paper but ends up buried under the room's furniture or competing with a subwoofer. Second, the concern that a reserve line from a respected name like Polk might be overkill for a modest budget. And third, the worry that you'll spend a few $100s only to discover the sound is fine but not transformative for everyday viewing. Let's break it down by looking at how these two speakers actually fit into a typical home theater layout. The R350 is designed to sit at the center of a 3-channel setup. Think left, right, and center, so its job is to anchor dialogue and on-screen action. It packs a 1-inch tweeter and 4 4-inch woofers, which sounds like a lot, but the real impact shows up when you're watching a dialogue-heavy drama or a TV series with rapid-fire banter. In my own tests, the center channel stayed clear even when the surround speakers were turned up, keeping the actors' words distinct without the hollow quality you sometimes get from cheaper centers. The R100 bookshelf speakers are a bit more versatile. They're small enough to sit on a bookshelf, stand, or even a sturdy tabletop, yet they carry a 1-inch tweeter that handles high frequencies with surprising detail. If you're the type who likes to pull a movie night in the living room and also enjoy a few Spotify playlists while cooking, the R100s handle both scenarios fairly well. The high-resolution audio certification means they can reproduce lossless formats without stepping on the performance of your favorite streaming services, something that matters if you own a Blu-ray player or a high-end streaming box. Now, who should actually buy these speakers? If you already have a decent subwoofer and front left/right speakers and you're looking to upgrade the center channel from a budget model, the R350 is a solid step up. It's also a good match for anyone who already has a couple of Polk speakers and wants to keep the tonal consistency across the whole system. Those who are building a home theater from scratch but have a modest budget will find the price point reasonable, especially when you compare the R350 to other center channels that can easily double the cost for a similar driver configuration. On the flip side, let's talk about who should skip them. If you live in a tiny apartment where walls are thin and you're not planning to invest in acoustic treatment, the 4 4-inch woofers in the R350 might produce a little more bass rumble than you're comfortable with. In rooms that aren't properly calibrated, that extra bass can translate into a boomy sound that masks dialogue rather than enhances it. Also, if you're only ever going to stream music at low volumes from a phone or laptop, the bookshelf R100s may be more than you need. They excel when you feed them a quality source and give them space to breathe. Let's dig into practical strengths that actually matter once the boxes are opened. First, the cabinet design. Polk has added cross-bracing inside both the R350 and R100, a detail that matters because it reduces cabinet resonance. In real-world terms, that means you won't hear that metallic echo that sometimes turns a clean note into a muddy one when the speaker is placed on a resonant surface like a glass coffee table. The built-in flexibility is another plus. The R350 can sit on a sturdy piece of furniture or be mounted on a wall with the proper bracket. The R100's footprint is small enough to sit on a dedicated speaker stand or even a bookshelf next to a stack of novels. No need for a huge floor-standing speaker. However, there are practical weaknesses to keep in mind. The R350, because of its size and the 4 woofers, does require a bit of clearance behind it to avoid the sound being swallowed by a wall. If your center channel location is flush against a cabinet or a very thin drywall, you might need to add a rear isolation pad or move the speaker forward slightly. The R100, while compact, does not include built-in bass boost controls, so if you're expecting that little extra thump in a small room, you'll rely on your receiver's EQ settings. Also, both speakers lack built-in Wi-Fi or Bluetooth. The trend in some newer models is to add wireless streaming as a convenience feature, so if you're hoping to plug them directly into a phone or tablet, you'll still need a traditional wired